Good morning, YouTube. Today I'm going to visit the Buffalo Bills Center for the West. There's like 5 museums in there, one for the Plains Indians, one for firearms, one for art, and one for Buffalo Bill. So pretty interesting place. It's in Cody, Wyoming. It's just east of Yellowstone, about 50 miles on Route 20. So let's go check it out. John Wayne's shirt. I always thought he was way bigger than me. An interesting 22 caliber long rifle. And I'm gonna guess that if you don't have that set on your shoulder just right, that's gonna hurt a little. Although 22s don't kick that much. So Buffalo Bills buckskin jacket. Which he's wearing in that photo. This is Cody's frock coat and a couple of his rifles. So 2 of Cody's children, Kit Carson Cody and Ora Maud Cody, are buried in Mount Hope Cemetery in Rochester, New York, where I'm actually from. The game of Buffalo Bill. I wonder if we can still find this anywhere. Cody's saddle. This is like his performing gear, and check out these boots. And the famous Stetson. See how much of this you can figure out. Annie Oakley stuff. This would have been Buffalo Bill's home away from home, or home because he traveled so much. Sort of like the antler table, the potty chair, or the bathtub. Quite a comfortable place. The stagecoach used to carry passengers in New England until Cody bought it in 1902. Took it to England the next year, used it in his shows, and then he eventually brought it back and used it as a ranch. So a sheep herder's wagon, and as I look at it, it's pretty much got everything I got in my bus, just a little more compact. So Cody turned his hand to a lot of things. Tried oil drilling. This would have been wheel that ran the arm. He tried, did the funding to irrigate in the Bighorn Basin, got working on that. Ran a newspaper. Had the Cody Cowboy Band for concerts in the town. Opened up the Irma Hotel, which was named after his youngest daughter, as well as promoting the local attractions of Yellowstone in Cody County. This photograph was taken in 1916, his last appearance in Washington, D.C. He died a year later. It's one way to hunt bison is to run them off a cliff, which the Native Americans did for centuries. Feather bonnet was possibly owned by Chief Joseph. I can't look at a lodge without bringing back fond memories of living in one through the fall and into the winter in the Adirondacks. And mine was about this tall, about this big, but I had a lining all the way around and the ozone roof, inner roof that would have protected the sleeping area in the back from drips and such. Think of the hours and hours of work that went into beating that cover or this saddle. You know, we think of headdresses, you think of the ones, you always see the feathered ones because of Hollywood. But there was other kinds. There's a buffalo horn. This other... So this painted hide by Eagle Robe depicts the Sand Creek Massacre, where the 3rd Colorado Cavalry killed approximately 200 Cheyenne and Arapaho people, mostly women and children. And this one depicts the Battle of Little Bighorn. I'm going to go with this buffalo hide coat. It's pretty warm and probably pretty heavy. So this is a ghost dance shirt. And typical is the U.S. soldiers thought this was cause for an uprising and surrounded a band of ghost dancers near Wounded Knee Creek and killing hundreds of men and women and children. But the ghost dancers believed that that shirt would make them, or would be bulletproof, which proved to not be. So one of the 5 museums here is the Firearms Museum with, I think she said 1,800 guns, but sure seems like more than that to me. Go through the history of firearms, of you name it, they probably got a copy of it. Famous Gatling gun. So my grandfather on my mother's side had a large collection of guns and gave my brother and I think, an earlier version of this, because we did not have the ramrod like the ones, the cleaning stuff like there. But I think we actually had a bayonet for it. So unfortunately, both of them burned up in a fire. So, can anybody see any problems with this one or that one? I mean, that's sort of cool. You know, if you really want a long magazine. I don't know how many of my friends back in the Adirondacks know about the Adirondack Firearms Company in Plattsburgh. Well, that ends my my visit to the Buffalo Bill Center for the West. Pretty interesting. I said 5 museums in there. You know, when your admission price covers 2 days in case you don't see it all in one day. I sort of buzzed through a little bit, but still pretty interesting and well worth the stop if you find yourself on the east side of Yellowstone. So, oh well, time to get back on the road. See you later, YouTube.